Hello, good day, and welcome to week 2 of the FYB data analysis training. This class is on descriptive analysis, SPSS, and we will be using a secondary data source. The dataset was gotten through a research carried out in Japan, and this PDF showing on the screen is the journal article for that research. You can go through it to understand what the data is about. The dataset of over 100 students were gotten, both international and domestic students, then demographic data, mental health, and then data on health seeking behavior were also gathered. Descriptive analysis has been done already on this data, so if I go down, you can see all the tables and everything, but they also published the raw data, so we'll be working on the raw data and we'll be moving, like we'll be going from the raw data to these results that they have here already. So going through this article will actually be very useful for you to understand what is actually going on and what we are trying to achieve. I intentionally decided to use like a real publicly available research data and not just like come up with the fake data for us to use, so that we can actually relate with the research better and even understand better. So let me show us the data first. So this is the data for this particular research. This is the data I downloaded from the website, though I have actually removed some things for some reasons, and I will also explain better. The first thing we need to do, as our data is in Excel, is that we need to find a way of getting the data into SPSS, and after doing that we need to define our variables. After defining our variables, we need to actually perform data transformation by converting some numerical variables like age into age range, and then language proficiency into categorical variables too. Then after that, we can go into our descriptive analysis, which will be splitted into categorical and then numeric variable. For the categorical variable, we'll work on frequency, we'll work on percentages, and then work on charts like bar charts, pie charts, and all of that. For the numerical variable, we work on mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, and other descriptive statistics. And then we also work on data visualizations like histogram, like box plots. That's all of that is for univariate analysis. We will also do bivariate analysis, where we will work on, we create cross tabulations, scatter plots, custom tables, and also even using histogram and box plots. I would also like to show us the file for this particular class. All the files I'll be using for this class. The files are very important. I will advise you to actually go there and download it now before we actually move into SPSS for our analysis. If you go to the training resource page, go to training file, and then just go to week 2, and then under week 2 we have descriptive statistics with SPSS as a folder, and under that folder, this folder contains everything you need for this class. This is the PDF I was talking about. Then this is the questionnaire that was actually used to gather data. For this particular one, okay, you can ignore this one, but if you go through it, if you go through the questionnaire and then you go through this, then you will understand some things better too. And then this is the data set that we'll be working with. So download this folder now, or download all of this file, and then open SPSS. Then you can come back to this video. To bring your data into SPSS, you have two options. It's either you want to copy and paste, or you want to import the data using the import option. Also, another important thing is is either you want to define your variable first before bringing in the data, or you want to define your variables after bringing in the data. It is advisable to define your variables before bringing in the data, so as to prevent loss of data, especially if we are using the copy and paste method. So this is our data, and we'll use the copy and paste method first, and also using the copy and paste method when we've not defined our variable, so as to show us like the shortcoming of that. So I'm just going to copy everything with the column headers. I've copied everything, and I'll go to SPSS and click on, I'll go to SPSS then click on the first cell here, then right click and then choose paste with variable names because I copied it with the column headers. If I did not copy it with the column headers, I can just choose paste or choose or just use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl V. So now the data has been pasted, right? Now if you notice something, you will notice that, for example, our gender here, we have male, we have like female is not spelled completely. This is because the variable was not defined, and then SPSS just determined the right thing. If we come to the variable view here, it has helped us define the variables in its own way, but that is actually not perfect. And what is actually controlling the number of characters that is in a particular cell is the width. I'm going to delete all the cases here, and then we will define some of these variables and then paste the data again, and you will see the difference. So this time around, I'll go back to Excel to copy the data again because I don't want to copy it the column headers now. I've copied, I just want to make sure I copied everything. I copied it with blank space. I don't want that. So this is what I will do. I'll come here, then use keyboard shift right arrow key, keyboard shift right arrow key till okay, presently keyboard till it gets to this. Okay, just make sure you didn't copy blank spaces, because that can actually, you didn't copy extra blank spaces, that can give issues. So till the last column, which is internet, I'm going to copy it, then till the last row. I've highlighted it to the last row, then I can just use Ctrl C to copy. So this time I'll come back to SPSS, and then before I paste, I need to come here. I for gender, let's make that 10, and then let's see, is it still copied? It's still copied here. So I'll just come here, and then in the data view, we can just use Ctrl V to paste. So Ctrl V now, and then it has pasted our data. If you look at gender, we can see that gender is now good. I believe we actually get the gist and we get the point now. So this is one way to bring in your data into SPSS. Is a form of shortcut, because so that way you will not spend several minutes or even hours coding your variables manually. At least SPSS has done a rough draft, and then you can just do necessary modifications. So that is the copy and paste method. I'll close this file and then open another blank file so that we can actually see the import method also. So for the import method, you need to go to file and then click on import data. Then you need to choose the type of data that you want to import. It is a CSV file, so I'm going to choose CSV. Then you need to know where your data is, so you need to navigate there. Need to navigate to where you have your data and then select the data. Then you have to notice that SPSS does not use like vertical scroll bar, it's horizontal scroll bar. So you have to notice that. This is my data here, and I'm just going to select that and click on open, and then this is trying to read the data, and then it's asking first line contains variable names. That is true. If that is not the case in your data, then you need to uncheck this. Remove leading spaces for string values. Yes, I like that. Remove trailing spaces for string value. I also like that. Then the delimiter between values is comma, because this is a comma separated file. If your file is a tab separated file, or the delimiter is semicolon, you can simply change this to any one of that. Decimal symbol is period, because in case we have decimal points in our data. Text qualifiers, I really don't use to mess with most of these. I just check these and make sure that the correct delimiter is selected. Then okay, and then it brought the output view briefly, and then we are back here. So it's probably processing, because I've not seen any data here yet. Wait, let's check. What is it saying? Oh, so there's an error, failure opening file. Now I believe that might be because this file is already opened in Excel, so I need to close the file, and then we are going to try that again. I'm just also going to close this output view. Another one will open anyways. I don't want to save it. So let's do that again. Maybe that is the issue. So that was the issue. Yes, that was the issue. So we can see that this option is actually better. It didn't truncate anything, and that is actually very good. So I this option is better sometimes, and then it has actually successfully imported into SPSS. So the columns are looking like very tiny. So you can just make it bigger by just using this. So you can make it bigger that way. Since we did not define our variable, it's good to go through what SPSS has done and try to maybe correct the errors there. So this and try to correct the errors there. But the first thing is, are we even familiar with our data? So to be familiar with this data, let's go back to the journal article. Data was gotten by filling of some questionnaires, and the questionnaire contained socio-demographic information, socio-demographic questions, mental health related questions, help seeking behavior related questions. For socio-demographic information, we have some categorical variables like interdom, and this means that types of students, whether they are international or domestic students. We have region, we have gender, we have academic, which can be maybe undergraduate or grad. We have state category. We also have state. Actually, in the data we are using, we don't have state category. We are going to get the state category by recoding our variable. I intentionally removed this state category from the data I downloaded. So what we have in the data that we have will be stay, and stay is a numerical variable that will be under the numerical variables. So as I said, it will be good for you to go through this data. Also, let me show us the questionnaire. So this is the questionnaire that was used. So this is the question about being a domestic or international student, country, gender, academic level, age, then the stay is somewhere also. Okay, how long have you been in Japan? That is the stay question. So they got the number of years, and then they grouped it into categories. So those are the categorical variables. We also have some numerical variables. Let's see. So these are the numerical variables like age, stay, language, proficiency, and all of this. This to deep now. It means total depression score gotten by the PHQ-9 questionnaire. So this is the PHQ-9 questionnaire here, and this questionnaire is can be used to actually determine if someone is depressed or not. It can be used to also classify the grade or the severity of the depression or the type of the depression. So what they actually got in was just the response to this questionnaire, and from those numerical response they were able to get some other columns like this to like this total depression, suicidal yes, like this total depression. And then under the categorical variable now, we also have on depression. Now we have depression. Yeah, we have a categorical variable indicating if the person has depressive symptoms or not, the type of depression, and then the depression severity. So that is simply data transformation. You can just collect one data and then convert that data to several other variables. So I believe we have like a basic knowledge of what the data is about now. Going back to SPSS, now we want to know, are there missing values in this data set? I don't think we have any missing values though. But how can we know? We can know when we do some descriptive analysis. So that's what we are going to do. To know if my data has missing values, I will go to analyze, then descriptive, then frequency. Even though I don't want frequency, so initially everything will be outside. So to bring everything inside, click on the first one, then scroll down to the last one, hold down shift and then click on the last one. So you have highlighted all the variables, and you can bring it inside the variable box here, and then uncheck display frequency, because we really don't care about frequency now. You just want to use this as like a shortcut to know if we have missing value, and make sure you don't pick anything under this one because we don't need any form of analysis now. You just want to know if we have missing values or not. I'm going to click on OK, and then now we can see our output window has been updated, and you can see all the variables. So this is the valid entries and then missing values. Everything at 0 under missing values, so that means okay, now internet has missing values. You can see 26, so internet has 26 missing values. So we are not going to do anything about the missing value for that internet for now. We are going to leave it. So we are going to go back to our variable view and then try to look at everything one by one. So interdome is a nominal variable, that's fine. Religion is nominal, gender is nominal, academic is not nominal, so we are going to change that to ordinal, because undergraduate and graduate, like, there's a sort of hierarchy there. Then age is a numerical variable, so it is scale. Stay is also a numerical variable, so we have to change that to scale. Japanese, this language proficiency, so it's also a numerical variable, so that is scale. English also. Mate is indicating if you are in a relationship or not, that is also nominal. Religion is nominal, suicide is nominal, depression is nominal. All those ones just have yes or no response. Depression type is nominal. This is nominal, is numeric. This is no, this is numeric, so it is scale. This is nominal, this is scale, this is scale. I'm not sure what these ones are. Let's go to the data to confirm. A ohm to okay. So all of these are under the numerical variable. So definitely they should be their measure should be scale. So scale, 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 scale. Partner, friends, every other thing is nominal. So now we've assigned the right measure to our data. So assigning the right measure to our data is actually very, very important, because when you start running statistical inferential test, then if your data has the wrong measure, you will not be able to actually run statistical tests for that variable. You will not be able to run certain statistical tests for that variable. Another thing that is very important is coding your data appropriately. So presently you can see we have male and female here, but it won't work for us. We need this male to be actually entered as 1, and then female as 2, so that we can now code it as okay, male is 1, female 2, or maybe any other number that we want. That is when we can be able to use that column for statistical analysis, and I'm going to actually try to show us that now. Assuming we want to run a t-test, to show if there is a significant difference in the total depression score across different gender. So let me try to run that now. I will go to analyze, then compare mean. Okay, that's not what I want. Analyze, compare mean, then independent sample test. So now I want to take the toe dip. Is that okay? Where are you? So I'll pick this variable and then put it under the test variable. Then I need to pick gender and then put it here. Now here already. And the next thing to click on, I don't expect it to enter this box, but let's continue. The next thing to do is to click on these define groups, and you have to indicate the coded number for your groups. So assuming we said gender is 1 and female is 2, I'm meant to put 1 and 2 inside this box. But since we actually did not do that, I'm not sure what we are meant to do, so I'm just going to close this first. So you see, when I close it, I could not press OK. Yeah, it is not active. So let's just put 1 and 2. I don't know, for the sake of just putting that, 1 then 2 then continue. Then let's click on OK and see the type of, if we get a sensible result. So now this is the result we are getting. It's saying the independent sample table is not produced, so we are not going to get a reasonable result. So now we are going to recode that particular column into like numbers, and then we'll run the test again and see what happens. you necessarily don't need to understand what is going on concerning the test, but I just want to show you why you need to define your variables before going on, especially if you will be actually working, you will be doing inferential statistics. If you want to do descriptive analysis alone, you can go on without defining your variable. You might not have a lot of issues. So here now, to record the variable now, so I want to say male is 1 and female is 2, or anyhow, then we can come to analyze, no, not analyze, we go to transform, then record into same variable, because I don't want to create another column. I just want to change the values in this particular column. I'll drag gender into this and then go to old and new value. So I'm going to say, okay, so male into old value, then new value here, I'll put 1, then click on add. The next one is female here, and then new value, that will be 2, and I'll click on add, then continue. Then the next thing is just to click on OK, and then you can see the change has been effected. But that is not enough. We need to come here and then come here to values. Okay, is that the one for gender? Yes. Come to values and then say, okay, 1 is male, add, then 2 is what? Is female, then add. So click on OK now, and then if you come here and click on this, that's what we have. So let's run the test again. Same process. You don't need to change anything. Okay, so we need to define group 1 and 2, then continue. And when we click on OK now we have a result. We have a result now. You don't need to care about the interpretation, but you can see what I mean when I said you actually need to do the work and define your variable if you are going to do inferential statistics. So how many other variables do we need to define now? So, and that is like pertaining to our categorical variables. We are very, very okay with the numerical variables. Like there's no issue with those ones. So interdome, I also want to define this one. So we are just going to go to analyze, not analyze, transform, then recode into same variable. Then we bring in the interdome and then old and new value. Then say inter should go for 1. Then don't forget to remove what we have there before. So just click on it and choose remove. And then the next one is, I think, DOM, if I'm sure. So DOM should go for 2. Then add, click on OK, then OK, then that has changed. So you need to go to the variable view also and then change that under values and say, okay, 1 is for inter, then 2 is for domestic, and then that's that. For region, I don't think I care. I don't plan to do any like inferential analysis with region, so I'm going to leave that. For academic, then I want to change that also. So we have grad and under here. So still transform, code into same variable, remove this. So put in the academic into this box, old and new values. Then you want to say, okay, so maybe grad is 1, then under as 2. Then remove what you have before that is not related to this particular one. So continue, then OK, and then the change has been made. So come back to variable view and then that is academic, and we are going to say 1 is for grad and then 2 is for under. I hope that's the correct thing. So if you come here, now we also have yes or no in some places. Yes, I want to convert all these yes or no. Intimate, religion, suicidal, depression. Okay, to be sure what we're actually working with, I'm just going to separate this screen, and we also have this here also. So if we go to under the categorical variables here, you can see for religion is either yes or no. For suicide is also, I think they want to write yes or no here, and then for depression is also yes or no. So what we are just going to recode the variable by using all of these as guidance. So the ones that have yes or no only, which is intimate, religion, and suicidal, we can do that together, so we don't have to do them one by one. So transform data, recode into the same variable, remove this, and then put in all those ones, which is religion, this and this. Then go to old and new value. So for the value, we want to change yes to 1. Also, okay, let me cancel, let's do that again. Okay, we don't have reset here, so we want to change yes to 1 and then no to 0, and then we'll remove this one and remove this one, then click on continue, then okay. Looking here now, all of them have been changed except intimate. I'm not sure, didn't we drag it inside the box? Let's do that again. Transform the code into same variable. Oh, we did not, so we are just going to put it in now. Then it's still the same option here, so we don't need to do that again. Press continue and then okay, and then it has been changed to, also you need to come to variable view and then recode that as necessary under value. So 1 is for yes, and 0 is for no. I'll just copy that for other ones instead of doing them over again. So the next thing we need to do now is we have age. Age is actually very good, but we also need age category. So now how can we group our age into category? Before we group our age into category, we actually need to know, we need to know some basic things about the age column, some descriptive statistics. I will just right click now and then choose descriptive statistics. So now we've gotten some informations like the mean, the median, the minimum and maximum value. Actually, that is what is important. So here now we know that we have age from 17 to 31. So using that information, you can try to determine how you want to group your age. Okay, for me, I might want to use maybe 5-year category. Let's say we want to do 16 to 20, 21 to 25, like that till we reach 35. So let's use that. So to group now, to do that, go to transform and then recode into different variable, because we don't want to lose the age column. We just want to have another column, which is the age category column. We don't want to lose the exact age, but we just want to also have the category column. So recode into different variable and then drag in the age column. Then you need to give your new variable a name. So the name, we are going to call it age category. Then label, can leave that for now. Then click on old and new value. So now we are going to choose range. So for the range, we are saying 16 to 20. That is 1. You cannot actually say 16 to 20 is maybe 16 to add. So the next one, 21 to 25, 2. Then also add 26 to 30. That's 3. Click on add. Then 31 to 35. Or you might not even impute this, you can just use all others. Now you have to be careful with using all others. So imagine we have something that is greater than 35, that is greater than, let's see, no, imagine we have something that is less than 16. If you use all others, it will categorize something that is less than 16 as all others, which will not make sense for what we want to do. So 31 to 35, we'll call that 4. Then click on add. So then continue. Then we need to click on change. This is very important. Then okay. And then if you go to the last variable, you will see that we now have a new variable that is called age category. So we need to come here to define the variable, So under value, I'm just going to say 1 is 16 to 20 as we've done before. Then 2 is 21 to 25. Then 3 is 26 to 30. Then 4 31 to 35. So if you come here now, then you can now see what we have. So also we need to they also categorize Japanese and English proficiency. So let's see how they did that. So under the categorical variables, you should see it. So this Japanese category, English category, if you download the full data set, you see all of that variables or columns inside, but I remove them to show us. So we can see here that Japanese proficiency 4 to 5 is categorized as high, 3 is medium, and then low for 1 and 2. So let's do that also. So we are still going to go to transform, then recode into different variable, and then so now since we have something here before, you can just click on reset to reset everything, so you can start from the at the beginning for this one. So I'll just choose one of these two, Japanese, and then let's just call it Japanese category. That's the variable name. Then you can actually click on this change before you define all of this one. It doesn't matter. So for the values now, we know that let's use a range. So for range now, we are saying 4 through 5. Okay, let me start from the in a particular order. So I'm saying 1 through 2. Let's call that 1, and that will be low when we start recording the variables. And then for values, we have to go for values for 3. So 3, I'm just going to call that 2. I hope you are not confused. Then we'll go back to range again and say 4 to 5, and then we'll call that 4 to 5. Now we call that 3. Then okay. So now we need to define our variables when we come. So if you check the last column again, the last variable, you see the new variable that we just created. This is it. So come back to variable, and then here we have to define our variable. So 1 actually refers to low, then 2 refers to medium, then 3 refers to high. Another thing that is important here is assigning the right measure. This particular variable now is nominal, so we have to is ordinal, so we have to change that. Each category is also ordinal, so we have to change that. Now we can finally go into our analysis, because we've done the necessary data transformation and every other thing that we need to do. So the first thing, we want to look at the categorical variables. Now if you want to analyze your data like this for research, you actually deals with this social demographic data first, and under the social demographic data, you might want to look at the categorical data first. So now we are looking at the categorical data. So now for categorical data, if you remember the first class, what are the ways by which categorical data can be analyzed? Okay, for categorical data, we can find frequency and percentage, right? So we are just going to do that, and then we can find mode. If we have we can find mode too anyways. So let's say, so go to analyze now, then descriptive, then frequency. So because we've done something here before, I'm just going to reset everything. So that is good. So we're going to start with this. If you look at some icons are next to each of those variables that you've defined. With those icons, you can actually determine the measure of the data. So this is a categorical data now, and though I'm not sure, I think the A just means that it's a string or a text data. So why for these other ones, they're also categorical data, but they are entered as a numeric data, so they did not carry that A stuff. So now we are going to analyze one first. So enter DOM. I'll put this inside this box now, and then display frequency table. So to get our frequency and percentage, this is the only thing you need to do. Just pick your categorical variable, put it inside this box, make sure display frequency table is checked, then click on OK, and then you have your frequency table. So now we can see that 201 students are international students, then 67 are domestic students. Then you can see the percentage, then you can see valid percentage also. Now the difference between percentage and valid percentage is that percentage calculation actually factors in missing value, while valid percentage does not factor in missing value. Okay, let's try to do frequency table for the internet variable, and you can see what I'm talking about. descriptive, where did I go? Analyze descriptive frequency. I don't want this guy again. So internet, then same thing. So looking at this now, we can see we have frequency also, we have percentage, we have valid percentage. So for percentage, it's also showing the percentage of the missing value, which is 9.7%. While for valid percentage, it does not factor in the missing value. So to calculate percentage for valid percentage, what it actually what SPSS does is that it's going to add up all the frequency minus the missing value. So it is the total of all the frequency minus the missing value that will be used in calculation of the percentage. Why for the valid percentage, the calculation is based on total frequency minus missing value. Why for percentage, the calculation is based on the actual total frequency. I hope we get that. So that means for 68 now, to get the percentage for 68, it is going to be 68 over 268, which is the total frequency. Then we are going to get this 25.4%. But to get the valid percentage, it is going to be 68 over 242, which is actually the total frequency minus the missing value. So that's going to give us 28.1. Now I hope you get that point. Now when it comes to reporting, most people use valid percentage, so they don't factor in the so when you're actually reporting your data, you might actually, if you have missing value, what you'll be presenting will be one of these percentages, not the two. You might want to confirm with your supervisor to be sure if they want you to use the one with the missing values or the one without the missing values. So that's how to create frequency table. But now we have several categorical variables and you really don't need to create it one by one. What you can do is go to analyze, then descriptive, then frequency. Then at a go, just bring in all of your categorical data. If you click on this twice, it will also enter this box. So bring in all of your categorical data at the same time. Just double click and double click till everything is inside. So you can also use shift also to select a number of them, and then we now have all of our categorical data here. So if I click on OK now, I now have the frequency distribution table for all my categorical variables. So really, analysis with SPSS is not hard. It's even very fast. It's only the defining of the variables part that might take time. So like very fast now, sharp sharp, we already have the frequency table for all our categorical variables. Okay, so how do we analyze numerical variables? We can use mean, median, standard deviation, and all those things. So let's do that. So also you are going to analyze, then descriptive, then frequency. Just reset everything. But this time you actually don't need the display frequency table for numerical variables. Don't need it. So you uncheck that and then bring in your numerical variables. So I want to use age. Then go to statistics. Then you can now choose any of these statistics that you want. Mean, median, mode. We don't want some. For most of the variables, it will not make sense to add them up. So maybe quartile, different quartiles, percentile. I don't want that. So if you want percentile, you put this here and type the exact percentile that you want. For the dispersion, so we talked about measures of central tendencies. Those are these guys. I don't know why some is here. For measures of dispersion, select everyone that you want, and then maybe skewness and all of this one. So I've selected what I want, then click on continue, then okay, and then this is the analysis for our numerical variable. So we can see the mean, the standard error of mean, the median, the mode, standard deviation, variance, range, minimum, maximum, then the different percentiles. Just like the categorical variable, you don't have to do all of them one by one. So you can just come here and then bring in everything that you want. So all of these variables, go and check the PDF to know their meaning. So I guess all our numerical variables are here, and then this one is already set, so just click on OK. And then now we have a large table that is showing that's showing the descriptive statistics for our numerical variables. Okay, now we've looked at bivariate analysis if we want to analyze two categorical variables, or if we want to analyze two numerical variables. What if we want to analyze one numerical and one categorical variables together? How can we do that? So we have, I think there are like two options that I know of. So still go to analyze, then descriptive, then choose explore. So we click on explore now. This dependent list is the numerical, should have the numerical variable. So I'm just going to put the total depression score into the numerical here, and then the factor list will be the categorical variable. So for that, let's look at, what should we look at? Let's look at these. Yeah, so we have statistics and plot. Let's just choose both. Also you can, well, this is fine. For plot now, I want to check normality plots with tests. I don't want stem and leaf, I want histogram. So I think this is fine. Then continue and click on OK. So yeah, this one, I really this I don't really like this explore. It rigs up a lot of values. It's usually very plenty. So okay, now we can see that, okay, for this n, so this is the output from this point. This n is just like frequency. We have 201 international students and then 67 domestic students. I think we should know that already. Then it's also showing the percentage. If we add missing values, it will show here, so we do not have missing value. So for now, for total depression score for international students, now you can see the mean, the confidence interval, the median, the variance. You can see all of these descriptive statistics that we kind of got before. So it's also computed the same thing for domestic students. So this way we've been able to kind of analyze, to do bivariate analysis, analyzing both a categorical variable and a numerical variable. So this test of normality, we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Let's not touch all of those ones now. But and then let's not touch all of these charts now. Okay, but another way you can still kind of try to achieve the same thing is by using custom tables. So go to analyze and then go to tables and then choose custom tables. So here now we want to put the this one, we want to put it under row. So now we have this, and then we want to put the total depression score, we want to put it under columns here. So presently, if we press OK now, it will just help us to compute the mean. Like there are different means, but we want more values, more statistics. So click on summary statistics, and then so presently it's giving us the mean. You can open all of this one and then choose whatever you want, but I will go to mean median mode, and then I want median. Mode does not make sense. I don't want mode. So I want maximum, I want minimum, I want range, I want standard deviation, I want variance. If I wanted percentages, I'll also put percentage. So if you open all of these, you will see different options based on what you might want. Then click on apply to selection, then close, then click on OK, and then you can see this is actually better than the explore that just gave us several several outputs. For this one, is giving us what we want exactly. So easily now we can see the mean. Now this result is like he's not even showing any decimal place. Let's fix the decimal number, because when you are calculating mean, especially mean, decimal number is really important. So we are going to go to analyze again. Then I tried to edit the table, but it's not working. So we are going to create another table, custom tables, and then our stuff is still there, so we don't really need to change that. Then where did I? So summary statistics, and then here you can see the format is auto. So click here and then change that to this that has a decimal number, and then it's now saying that okay, the decimal number is 0. Then you can say no, I want the decimal number to be 12k. I want the decimal number to be 2. So we only change that for the mean now, and then median, all other ones. Then okay, standard deviation does also be, oh okay. So I think this option is better. This just means, so this particular option also is good. And then you just change the decimal number to what you want. Then I'll just choose that to here, this NNN. So then apply to selection, then close, and then okay. Now you can see the difference in our outputs. We now have the decimal number, which actually make more sense. Another thing for the custom tables is that you can actually, like the name is custom tables, you can modify it to like to the kind of format you want. So presently this is the default format. There is something about this. Okay, then this, I'm not sure what that would do anyways, but to to kind of change the format. So presently we have positions here, and if you change this to row, then you have something like this. You might want to hide, maybe, so yeah, so you might want something like this. Then for category position, that is the default. We also have this also, so you can, depending on what you want, you can play around that. So we will make it row now, and then this rows label in category. Which one is better? I think this is better. I think this is better. For easy comparison. Anyways, okay, and then we still have the table in another form containing the same data now. That is that on bivariate analysis, and now we can go to this data visualization. If you've noticed, you can see that you can actually do like select the values and perform your analysis both from the output view and from the data view. So I mean output window and input window. Yes, so data visualization, to create your charts, there are several ways. So one of the ways is the one we've been familiar with, which is the one under analyze. So go to analyze, then descriptive, then frequency. But this time around, okay, reset first. So let's say for this entire dome now, we don't want frequency table because we have it before. So then we are going to go to charts, and then say, let's say we want a pie chart. So we've chosen pie chart. Do you want to show frequency or percentage in that chart? So let's say I want to show percentage now. Now click on continue, then okay, and then I have my pie chart. I have my pie chart. So what I do really is that I kind of know, what I do is that for data that has maybe two or three categories, I for variables I have two or three categories, I might use pie chart. So everything that I want to, every variable that I want to analyze with pie charts, I analyze them together. So for example, these, let's say I want to use pie charts to visualize religion, to visualize gender, then I'll put everything in at the same time, go to my chart, choose pie chart, then continue, then okay. So now I've made two pie charts at the same time. I won't advise these as pie charts, so it's more than one, two, three, it's more than three variables, so it's more than three categories. So that's that. So what if I want another type of chart? So still come to frequency. Let's say I want to do that for region now, then chart. So I want a bar chart, so I'll choose bar chart, then continue. We can make for other categorical variables now, some of the other ones. um, so we've chosen bar chart, and I want frequency now, so continue, then okay, and then we have our charts. We have our charts, so you can edit your charts. Let's try editing of charts. If you double click on this, it will take into another window. Now this is the charts editor window. So if I go here now, you can see I have three SPSS windows. Okay, so now to edit, you can use any of these. Well, I don't like even making my chart in SPSS at all, because the editing is actually stressful for me. I don't like it, and I believe Excel charts are more, they are more aesthetically pleasing than SPSS. So most times I do my visualization in Excel. So this is just to show us how this, like how to create charts in SPSS. But if you can just play around with this really, and then see. Let's say we want to add data labels. I'm trying to see. Can just try to see. This is X axis, Y axis. Where is the data label option? Okay, so I double clicked on the bar and then I have this now. We have bar options. So what is this? I'm not sure what this is, but you can just play around it. Chart size, depth and angle, categories, sort by. Okay, let's say we want to sort. Presently it is not sorted, so let's say we want to sort by values in ascending order. Let me click apply, and well, it's not giving me what I okay. uh Not giving me what I want to. Let's change it to descending and then apply. Okay, but I don't, there's no point in me sorting by the region, by the name of the regions. I would rather sort by the frequency, but I don't know if there's an option for that here. So if it's in Excel now, I prefer to sort by the frequency so that I can see the largest region first and then see the other ones. What else can we do here? Fill and border. So the chart is present, the bar is they have like the color is blue. Let's say I want to change it to pink, apply, and then that's how to do that. So really you can play around this and just determine what you want. Yes. So that is that really. So when you are done with this, you don't need to do anything. Well, maybe except you want to, I don't know, you don't need to do anything. I don't use this more. Okay, so I can see data labels now. So go to element, then data label mode. So if we check that, what happens? Can't see anything. Actually, this show data label should be active, and I'm not sure why it is not active. Okay, it is active now. When I click on the bar, it is active. So just click on show data labels, and then you can see the different frequency. You can see the data labels. uh I think that is good. When you are done with this, you just need to just close this, and then you will see your changes in the output view. So that's how to create your charts and edit your charts using the analyze tab. But also, okay, that we did for categorical variables. What's for numerical variables? Same thing, frequency, and then we'll reset this and then uncheck frequency. So let's say we want to do age, then you can go to charts, then choose, I want an histogram. For numerical variables, the only, like, the suitable chart under this option is the histogram. Then if you want to if you want to show normal curve, then you click on this. Okay, let's not click on this first, then continue, then okay, and now you have your histogram. So let's go and click on show normal curve and see what we will have. So now when you click on show normal curve, you just add this line to kind of help you to maybe just like determine if your data is normally to determine visually if your data is normally distributed or not. So another way to make charts in SPSS is to go to graph, and then now there are several options, chart builder, all of this. Where the only option I know how to use is this legacy dialog. You can check out how to use the other ones. I think I can use chart builder too, but let's just use the legacy dialog. And then if you want a bar chart, you click on bar chart. You choose the type of bar chart that you want, and then let's say we want simple bar chart now. Click on define, and then which variable we want to use. Um let's say we want to use this. So category axis. Then you can click on OK, and then you have your bar charts. That's like that simple. But you can see some other options there for that bar chart. Still simple bar chart, and you can see some options here too. You can play around with everything. So you can play around with everything. Let's assume we want to put yeah, let's put Japanese category into rows. Let's see what it will give us. And then we have something like this with everything divided into categories. Okay, okay. If we choose, if you bring this here, then it will be divided by columns, I guess. Then you have something like this. mm. Okay, so we also have, you can also create a, so we chose simple bar chart before. You can also create a clustered bar chart. We also have stacked bar chart. So let's do clustered first, and then for clustered you have to use two categorical variables, and that's a form of bivariate analysis using data visualization. So let's say we want to use, let's say we want to use seal, interdome, and gender that we used before. So put one under categorical axis and the second one under define cluster by this. If we click on OK now, then this is a the cluster chart. This is a compound bar chart. You can create the same thing under the cross tab option. So let's go to cross tab, and then here, if you check display clustered bar charts, we've had all of this there before. Then click on OK. So you have your cross tab, then you have the chart also. So I've shown you different ways to create charts now. So there are different charts that you can create. You can create your histogram from here too. Let's click on histogram, and then, so let's say our numerical variable is still the total depression score, and then display normal variable, we will have the same thing that we have before. Also, we can try to split this by different categories. So let's go to chat, legacy dialog, in histogram again, and then this time around maybe we want to split it by international and domestic. Let's see, and then we have this. What other charts can we create? So we've created scatter plots. You can do the same thing for pie charts, line charts. So we've not talked about box plots. So for box plots, we are going to create it, and you should just go and read up on the interpretation of a box plot. This video is getting really long already, so you can have a simple or clustered box plot also. Then, so the variables, the numerical variables now is still total depression score, and then if we don't put a category axis, okay, I think we need to put a category axis. For category axis, let's still use this, and then, so now this is our box plot. Please read up on how to interpret a box plot. Since we've not saved, so you need to save. Simply go to file and then save. I won't go over that again. So just save, put it in the right location, and then you've saved it. Sometimes you might want to export your data after you've entered it into SPSS, or after you've coded it into SPSS. You might want to export it as like an Excel file or a CSV file. So to do that, you only need to go to file and then click on export. Choose the type of data you want to the type of file you want to use for the export, and then choose the location where you want it to be exported to. If you go to that location, you are going to see your file, your data there in that particular file format. So another thing, saving the input view, this data view now does not, the input window does not mean you've saved the output view. You have to save the output view also, and if you do not save the output view and you close it, you are going to lose all your work. So to save the output view also, you need to come to file and then click on save again, and then you've saved it. You have to give it a name, choose a location, and all of that. So for your output now, that that particular file that you've saved, it cannot be opened with any other app except SPSS. So imagine you want to send it to someone that does not have SPSS. What can you do? You can copy and paste the tables into Word document or something, but that might not be really efficient. Though when you want to actually write your report, you will copy your tables and paste them into Word and all of that. So, but you can also export your output file as can export your output file as a PDF. So I'm just going to show us that. I don't want all of these parts to show, so I'm going to delete it. But be sure before you delete anything, because whatever you delete, cannot get it back. Okay, you can get it back. You can Control Z anyways. So I want to delete those ones, and then now I want to export this as a PDF. So to export this as a PDF, now go to file. Then you can use export. You can probably use print also. I use print. So the first thing, go to page setup and then set up this one to portrait, because for your large tables, if you use is set up orientation to landscape. If you use portrait, it will cut some of your tables and then it might not be easy reading it. So choose the type of paper that you want, then click on OK. Then you can also preview it by clicking on print preview here. So it's showing this only because I think I've selected that. So I'm just going to press escape. Or can I close? I want to close this. Okay, this is good. Make sure you're not selecting anything. Then go to file and then print preview again, and now you can go to next reviewer and see if everything is looking nice. If everything is looking nice, you can come back here and then print. So when you print, just click on OK like this and it will print. I already printed it before, but I wasn't recording. So this is the file that was the file. All of this particular part I deleted now. They were there, so because I didn't delete them. So but this is our data. So you can actually send this PDF format to someone that you want to share maybe your work with, and the person does not have SPSS to view to view to view the SPSS output file. So that is all our work. Don't forget to read about plot. This video ended up being longer than I planned. I'm not sure if it will not be longer than 1 hour at this point. I don't know, but that's the end of today's class, and I'll see you in tomorrow's class. Bye.